Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly Senior Citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this. A brand new day. Yes, indeed. Beginning of the week. Sort of, technically. Since Sunday is like the start of the week in most cultures. But anyway, though, it is raining, and it's been raining. And so, joy, it's really wet. And last night I went walking, 7-mile round trip. Ooh. And it was raining, of course, so I took my umbrella. It wasn't raining the entire time, which made it so much more fun when I had to just carry my umbrella. And then later on, of course, raining periodically, and then stopping, and then raining, and then stopping, and then raining. So it was joyous, but now it's just solid rain out there. Yay! Little Gotsy Ray leaned back on the dirty mattress, the joy now running through his veins. It was flowing through him, a wave of pleasure and relief. His large central eye fought to roll back in its socket, and his motile tendrils, holding the now empty syringe, trembled, the glass barrel suddenly very heavy. The two hippie chicks Ray and Octina Key had picked up in the kitchen, sitting on the mismatched chairs around the filthy table. They'd been passing a joint between each other, but were now topless and going at it hot and heavy. The syringe fell from Ray's tendrils, and he looked over at Octina Key. His belly felt like a dagger was grinding inside him, and he couldn't remember the last time he'd eaten. But the horse, now keeping him going, was so much better than food. At last he let go and surrendered to the pure horse, eye rolling back in its socket, and his bulk leaning back on the mildly twitching tendrils at his headplate. One other thing I did was a bit of construction work this morning. Ooh, not real construction work. There's little cardboard sheets that come inside this one particular kind of cat food, and it just separates the various levels. There'll be like 4 levels of cat food, and they're each separated by a sheet of cardboard. I took a couple of those sheets of cardboard because little Gojira here, she doesn't have a lid or anything, and so when this light's on or other lights are on, it just goes right down into her cage. Now that doesn't seem to bother her, but still I want to help out some because I don't like it to bother her sleep. So this morning I took a couple of the sheets of cardboard. I put one across the top so that light coming down is blocked this way. And at this corner where she's got her nest, I put 2 sheets of cardboard, one on each side, and then bent a sheet of cardboard to go down like this to block the light coming in that direction. So it's darker. It's not darker because there's light that reflects off of everything that's down there in her home, but it's darker. And so thumbs up on that. Just a little bit of trying to take care of my hamster stuff there. Definitely a thumbs up. And I'm going to be pulling and just having a joyous old time with my shirt this morning. Thumbs up for that. I fixate on the way my shirts feel and look, and if they don't feel right, then I just tug on them all day. And as nice a shirt as this is, it's a slightly, like, it's clingy. It's not like silk or anything, but it's clingy. It's because it's clingy, it just kind of bothers me, but it's a nice shirt. So I'm going to wear it. It's got this kind of, it clings awkwardly. And there may be a wrinkle where it's not tight, but it's still going to cling and then pull on everything on the inside because that's just what the material is like. Even though there's no actual reason for it to do that, that's what it does. Thumbs up for that. Just thought I would mention. I did write some other things down because, hey, that's just the way I like to do it because otherwise I forget. And that's bad. Oh, I have wanted to say this one. It's really silly. It's really dumb. In my cosmic horror pantheon, I had worked out how every vowel and every consonant should work out. The problem was I was very inconsistent with the O. I couldn't get the O right. I would figure out how it was going to be pronounced, and then I'd mess it up entirely. From that point on. So everything I go, okay, I'm going to set it in stone as this sound, and then the next thing I know, I'd be pronouncing it differently. So, because I think about these things a lot when I'm out walking, with all of my other vowels, you know, the A is pronounced with an A, the E is pronounced with an A, an I is pronounced with an E, a U is pronounced with an OO. Finally, after coming up with like 5 different sounds for the O and just going nuts over it because that's crazy, I figured out a new type of thing for it. My apologies. The O is more of a placeholder sound. It's not an actual vowel itself. You're just slurring from one syllable to the next. No particular sound. You're just keeping your vocal cords working. So as long, so the name Haki is actually key with the placeholder in the middle of just or a or just something. You're slurring your vocal cords from one syllable to the next. The actual sound you make isn't important. It's just the use of the vocal cords. Like with Kadiron, the placeholder O, you just slur the space between syllables. So thumbs up for that. That's now, it works in my head that, you know, you write it down as a vowel, but it's just any sound that your vocal cords make while going from this syllable to this syllable is a winner. So you're going to come up with very inconsistent sounds with that. Thumbs up, but it makes sense in my head, and it was really, really stupid and small, but everything was hinging on that. And it shouldn't hinge on that. That's crazy. That's one vowel sound. You know, you can't underpin everything on it, but that's the perfectionism of depression, so definitely thumbs up on that. Good golly, Miss Molly. I'm also going to talk about my history with rodents, because I have a history. I thought I heard a hamster that was up and moving, but apparently I was wrong. Or there was one that was like, it was possibly Dr. Snurf up against the wall, or possibly it was little Thigmo in the bottom down here where I can't easily get to either of those two. So I wish I could have brought out a hamster, but I couldn't. Good Lord. But it started back in like 1989 when I had first moved out into my first apartment. After coming out of the Air Force, I stayed with my parents for a few years, and they were happy with that. They didn't mind. I was getting my feet underneath me. And then when it was time, I looked for a place, and they helped out looking for places, and then I moved out. While I did that, I picked up some rodents. They were gerbils. Gerbils are fine animals. They're cute. They're fuzzy, but for me, they're not the perfect rodent. And I discovered that with my time with them. I mean, they're, like I said, they're fine, but they're more the 2 speeds. There's turbo and off, and there's no real speed in the middle, and that kind of bothered me. And they're not really soft rodents. Their fur isn't horrible, but or spiky or anything, but it's more coarse like straw and less silky like fur and hamsters. And so they're fine. They're fine animals. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just the long tail, the turbo speed, the not soft fur. After my gerbils, good Lord, I am so sorry about this. After my gerbils passed on, because it's what they do, I started picking up hamsters. Just as I like gerbils, but they weren't perfect. How about this fuzzy animal? And then after getting that fuzzy animal and taking care of it with their little fuzzy faces and their great big ears and their pouches filled with food and their little stubby tails, I just fell in love with hamsters. Unfortunately, as a drinker, and as my time went on, until I stopped taking care of hamsters entirely. About 95, I stopped taking care of hamsters and stopped keeping them. I didn't just, stop taking care of them, like throw them outside or anything. It's just, as they perished, I didn't replace them until I was out of hamsters, and then it was fine. Because I was drinking, and all of my time was in drinking. So, unfortunately, they didn't get the best care, but the best thing you can do, you can't change the past. All you can do is say, I have learned and I will not act like that again. So I have learned and I have not acted like that again. And that's good. When you're an alcoholic, life is not the best for anybody involved. Good Lord, I am so sorry. After that, years passed, and I started feeling lonely again, and I picked up a rat. And it was a nice rat. And it wasn't my first rat, I don't think. I have memories of having another rat, but a friend of mine also had a rat. And so I think I'm mixing up his rat with memories. So it seems like my rat, though it was his rat. Alcoholism does terrible things to your brain. But it was a wonderful, wonderful rat. And they are affectionate, smart, wonderful creatures. And unfortunately, because of my end-stage alcoholism, life did not end well for the little fella, and life did not end well for, me at the time, since I ended up in detox and rehab and all sorts of fun stuff. So, I came out of it through the fire on the other side, and that's important. But then a couple years passed, and my wife and we picked up some hamsters here and there in the tiny, tiny cages, because I still didn't know better. And it wasn't until I moved out, because I lost my house after my wife died, that I moved into my brother-in-law's garage, that I started getting more hamsters. And while I started taking better care of them than I had before, I still hadn't done my research, and I was using tiny, tiny cages. And even after we moved here, if you watch some of my older videos, you can see the tiny, tiny cages I had of my hamsters in the background. And then when I found out about it, I did my best to try and do better for them. And I pleaded for help, and Potato-tron actually sent me these large bins that I could put my hamsters in properly, so they have proper space. And that is so wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you absolutely everybody that has bought food or toys or bedding or anything for my hamsters. Thank you so very, very much. There is just something about hamsters that they reach in and they grab my heart, and I just love them so much. So thank you so much for helping me take proper care of them with proper space and proper food and water and handling. It is good. The handling I can do. It's the rest of it. Thank you so much for that. And I'd have to have let's try that in English. I'd have to have like some sort of IRC chat thing where people would tell me to do things with hamsters, because I don't have any like hamster machines or anything. I thought I heard something, so I was looking down to see if it was a little dust mop, but nope, it's not him either. It could be little Figmo. He might be up and running around. I keep hearing little hamster noises, and it's a good thing because I love hamsters. And of course, I am still worried about the future. One of the big things that the government likes to do is when they're hitting me with my finances, and if they're going to tell me, and they've done this a couple times, and it sucks. They don't just hit me with a full, here's what you owe, whap, and then they take it, because they can only take so much out. Frequently, the past couple times, they've taken a full amount of debt, chopped it into 2 small, unequal pieces, hit me with the smaller one in the first month, and then when I thought I was okay, hit me with the rest the next month. I'm hoping that's not what happened with January, because it was a bump and it hurt. But if it wasn't all of it, which they haven't even told me yet how much full I owe, they're just taking it. So I'm not asking for anything, I'm just explaining that the sword of Damocles is always over my head, no matter what. So I do appreciate all of your help. Like I said, I'm not asking for anything because I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if that was a full head, small head, or anything. Just the sword of Damocles is fun. That's the only thing I'm trying to say. When you never know when it's going to go shkwa. So thumbs up for that. And let's see if I've got anything else written down on the side there. Oh, yes. I might as well talk about this one. Well, no, there's not enough time. It was a possum story. In the house that I lived in for 10 years in Bellingham, there's enough time. We had a possum issue because we had a basement and a utility room, and you went from the kitchen to the utility room down into the basement or outside. Because everything was such a mess in that old house, possums used to come into the house through the utility room. And so I would always have to chase possums out. And one time I was up in my room and I heard a thump because I had my laundry basket downstairs. I went down and a possum had tried to crawl into my chair where my laundry basket was and fell, and the thing went clunk and it trapped it inside the laundry basket. So I pushed it across the floor and then out onto the porch outside. So thumbs up for that. Anyway, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab, and I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them afterward. Thumbs up and answer as many as I can. Right now, I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. We're just not good at that. And it is a range of 20 to 25 because even though I count in American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand, a little bit of input lag there, I do my best. You've already seen my memory work. Here's my Chrome. We have CaliBear415. Thank you very, very much. And Beza, greatly appreciated. We have Panda Boy. I like the name. Thumbs up and thank you. XJMSX06. Thumbs up and appreciated. Limeberry. I like the name. Thank you very much. Ice Damon. Greatly appreciated. Nightly 2. Thumbs up and thank you. We have Kieran Metallica fan. Thumbs up and thank you. We have Kathy Kitscat. Greatly appreciated. Little Toshi. Thumbs up. Colin Reisenauer. Thumbs up and thank you. Double. Greatly appreciated. We have Cameron Gibbons. Thumbs up and thank you very much. Bailey Snyder. It happens. And thank you very much. Good to see you in the comments. Dante Magyar. Greatly appreciated. Samantha Dixon. Greatly appreciated. Number 1. Thank you very, very much. And then we have Talia Heinrich. I sure hope I'm close, but I bet I'm not. Thank you very much. Steezy Kid 99. Thumbs up and thank you. Alt Delete. Greatly appreciated. We have Braxton Zombie. Thank you very, very much. There is X_JXE. Thumbs up and thank you. And then Slasher. I've forgotten where I am, so hopefully I'm close. Slasher with a slash. Thumbs up and thank you. Lyle Chipperson. Greatly appreciated. And last but not least, Iden 3X. Thank you all so very, very much. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people, and it is appreciated. Thank you so very, very much. If you could check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. But if you'd like to contribute and help me out but don't want to contribute to one of those, I have a PayPal link down below. If you could check that out, that would be very cool. And if you wanted to help support me but didn't want to send money, I have an Amazon wish list link down below. Hard to say. It's like a tongue twister. You could check that out. That would be very awesome. Now, don't feel obligated. I don't feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation. I get for my existence, definitely a thumbs up. And of course, if you can subscribe to the channel and hit that bell, that would be very cool. Greatly appreciate. Definitely a thumbs up. I would understand if you did not wish to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. I have this video. I have another video to edit and render. I have a third video I need to record, edit, and render. If I get it done, it's okay to only have 2. Take care of yourself. That is important. So you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. And like I say, be good to yourself. You don't have to crush your skull if you don't get stuff done. Just do your best and do your best.